who are some of the figures in Kenya histories that you feel are not talked about enough?
Really, I don't think I have an answer to that. But what has been disturbing me recently is how our history sort of doesn't tell more of the women who have fought and who have been active in our history.
Yeah.
We have very few, and I believe it could be deliberate that there are people who decided we are not telling the history of women. And you read mostly, when you're reading history, you'll hear Agwing Skodek and his wife. But the wife hakuwa na jina. We need to know the name because she must have also played part. Yeah, I imagine, for example, recently of what we can see is Raila Odinga and Mama Aida.
Yeah. A very good day wherever you are watching us from. Welcome back to another episode of the Untold Truth. My good name is Oyamo, and we are back here with another conversation, another amazing conversation. So today I have an amazing guest, and we want now to go into history of Kenya. How much and how deep do you know our legend, the history of Kenya? Do you know even the reason actually we are really mourning the one of the legends, Mr. Jirongo, yeah? How do you know these guys, yeah? Because you always walk maybe in Nairobi, you just know Tomboya Street, you know, let's say James Gishuru, but you don't know these people in deeper way. But so today I have this man who has a passion of knowing these people and telling a story about these guys, yeah? The positive vibe of it and then the negative part of it, because wezi kuwa tu mzuri vile, yeah? So I have this guy today and we want to go deep into the history of Kenya so that we get to learn something. We are here to learn, relearn and learn kama kawaida. At the end of the day, we gonna inspire you, educate you and entertain you at the same time. So allow me to welcome my guest today. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Umekaribishwa to the Untold Truth podcast.
Thank you.
This is where we talk of the untold stories, yeah? We bring them, yeah? Yeah, so karibu sana, umekaribishwa.
Asante sana.
Yeah, once again, feel free.
Okay.
And you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You also look good.
Thanks. How is your day? How was the week?
I've been cool. I've been fine. Just doing more of research work and just digging in the rabbit holes and finding out good stories. Yeah. Some we know, some we don't, and that's life.
I thought you'll carry that.
No, that's specifically for the telling of the stories.
I thought we'll have rabbit. Yeah. Anyway, karibu.
Asante.
Yeah. So for those who don't know you, maybe you can tell us who is you first. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Oyamo Richard.
Yeah.
I'm a writer, I'm a poet, spoken word artist.
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller and a published author.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oyamo, where are you coming from?
I'm a Kenyan.
Yeah.
I'm a Kenyan from Western, born and raised partly in Western, partly in Mombasa.
Yeah.
And then came to Nairobi kutafuta unga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, we must say, as the whole team of the Untold Truth, we are really happy with what you're doing.
Thank you.
And sometimes we get inspired, through your videos, you know. Maybe we didn't have that knowledge of knowing these people, knowing our roads, yeah? But through your platform, we get to learn a lot. And we see it's so amazing and so interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I don't know, where do we start from? The passion. How did you start that?
Okay, so interestingly, it was just bothering me. Nikipita Tawa, I'm like, who is this Tomboya? Who is this Agwing Kode?
Yeah.
Why Mwindi Mbingu?
Yeah.
And it kept bothering me. So I decided, let me go and do research. And I started with Mwindi Mbingu Street, and then went to Agwing Skodek. And I did research, and I found out. And then one day I was chilling with friends, and I was telling them about it. And they were so interested and so excited.
Yeah.
And it hit me, so people can be excited about these things.
Yeah.
Why can't I do like a narration and then just share online?
Yeah.
And that's how I did. So I shared the first video and people liked it.
Yeah.
And that has been it. So it has been me going down the rabbit holes,
Yeah.
and doing research,
Yeah.
and figuring out things that I myself would like to know.
Yeah.
And then once I know them, I'm like, let me share with the world now.
Yeah. You know, the first time I came across your video, you were doing the video of Arrowing's Kodek Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one for around 4 point there.
Yeah.
Then I was interested because I didn't know that is a name of somebody.
It is.
Actually, I didn't know.
It
So I
is.
was like, Arwing Sukwanga jina ya mtu. I was like, oh my God.
It is.
Yeah, so.
And even people who know it's someone's name, who are Jew, it's a Kenyan, like an African.
Yeah.
They think it's like some white person.
Actually, Arwings was a Luo.
He was a Luo.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Skozek was a Luo.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, so you.
Though there's, I haven't proven this, but there's a statement that his name wasn't really Agwing Skozek.
Yeah.
It was Agwenge Kodeke. And then it somehow turned to Agwing Skozek.
Agwenge Kodek.
Yeah, through colonialism.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or his people used to call him that way. Yeah, they were like, hey, Agwing Skozek, that's an English person. Sisi tutakuita Agwenge Kodeke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting to dig in and find out, oh, this person actually existed. Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you do the research? The research take how long?
How long depends on the person I'm researching on.
Yeah.
For some people, it's very easy. You
Yeah.
start the research and you find a lot of resources about them.
Yeah.
And for some, you don't find.
Yeah.
Like there's one I've been researching, I don't know, for 2 months. I do research, naeka kando nenda kwa mwingine.
Yeah.
Because you feel like sijapata substantial knowledge on the person to share out there.
Yeah.
But I rely on libraries.
Yeah.
I rely online, of course, and online I rely specifically on verifiable sources. Like UN has a repository, a history repository of people who have done their theses and they have submitted. So they're available. You can go there, check them through. Archives. People don't go to archives. Iko na very rich resources. Museums, Nairobi Gallery. Yeah, so usually those are my sources. And of course, I also rely on like individual people. Like sometime I'm researching history and I meet a term that is in maybe Kikuyu. I'm not a Kikuyu. So I call my Kikuyu friends, what does this mean? And do you know anything about this? So that's how I do my research.
Do they pay? Do you pay archives when you?
Yeah, you pay archives. Currently, I think it used to be 60 bob. Currently, it's 110
per hour or per day.
Per day.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, you wouldn't stay there for the entire day, but however amount of time you want to stay there, you can stay there. Also, there's a yearly fee. For getting the amount, but it's very minimal. I don't want to mention because I've forgotten the amount, but though it's not out there because I don't know, but it's very minimal, so you can pay that. Oh, also the other source is Macmillan Library and Nation Center. Nation Center have a library of their newspapers all the way back to our independence, 1960s, 1970s. Like daily newspapers. Ukienda huko you're like, oh, Tomboya alikufa which year, which month, which week. So you could go there and like check out all the newspapers zenye zilikuwa published around that week. And you'll find all the stories about Tomboya.
Okay.
You can imagine when Raila died, how every newspaper was talking about stories of Raila. So you could go and find out, hiyo wiki ilikuwa tu story ya Tomboya everywhere. So read those newspapers, find out what people are sharing about him, and you learn a lot about the guy.
I was wondering if you have the specific book that guide you.
On an individual or general?
Or maybe on general.
Nah, there's no one book yenye iko na story ya kila mtu. But usually when I visit bookshops, I'm usually interested on the history section. So whenever I see a book that I think itani enrich, I get a copy. At times you could get a general history book, but I like mostly those that are centered on one or two individuals. Because then it will give you concrete and deeper knowledge about the person. As opposed to when it's general, it's just brushing through.
Why do you think that sharing of the personal history is very important to us?
And even knowing our history,
Yeah.
very, very important.
Yeah.
There's a day I went to National Museum,
Yeah.
and I was talking to the receptionist
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and she was telling me how the fee for residents
Yeah.
or citizens of Kenya, it's a bit lower
Yeah.
compared to foreigners.
Yeah.
But it's foreigners who go to the museum more than we Kenyans. And they know our history even more than we do.
Yeah.
And that's sad because coming back to your question, the reason why we need to know our history,
Yeah.
it's so that it drives how we move forward.
Yeah.
We need to know, how did Moi end up ruling for 24 years? Why?
Yeah.
Why were people not fighting him?
Yeah.
And then you realize, people are actually fighting.
Yeah.
And maybe if it were not for people fighting,
Yeah.
we will be having another Museveni here in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that also informs how we move forward.
Yeah.
They say history repeats itself.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure that it doesn't repeat itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. While doing research, I learned that apparently we are not the first Gen Zs
Yeah.
to come out and come with an uprising. Apparently there were Gen Zs. Yeah. When Akina Raila and Dungosi,
Yeah.
and this year Governor Orengo,
Yeah.
Akina, what's his name, the Kisumu governor,
Anyang' Nyong'o.
Anyang'.
Yeah.
They were young people. They were
Yeah.
young lads
Yeah.
in their 20s.
Yeah.
So Gen Zs, it's not the first time young people are coming out to speak.
Yeah.
So, and that informs you. And even in a way, I'm like, I would like to listen to these older people, like not to just dispense them entirely, but I'd like to just hear out, Richard Onyonka sharing how they went through the detention under Moi's regime, and what they learned from that, and what can we pick from that. Yeah.
You've talked about nation media. So going to nation media to look back the previous history, do you pay them or you book with
there's a fee, it's 500 per session.
That is one day or?
Per session, it's like, let's say a day, like an entire day, but there are 2 sessions. There's morning session,
there's
and
an
afternoon session. You pay 500, you go in, get everything you want, and they have also digitized the newspapers, so you can just go on the computer, click date, week, or even click I want history on JM Kariuki, and they'll give you all the articles that have ever been written about JM Kariuki, and you can read through, research more, know who says what, and what went through around that time.
Who are some of the figures in Kenya histories that you feel are not talked about enough?
Really, I don't think I have an answer to that. But what has been disturbing me recently is how our history sort of doesn't tell more of the women who have fought and who have been active in our history. We have very few, and I believe it could be deliberate that there are people who decided we are not telling the history of women. And you read mostly, when you're reading history, you'll hear Agwing Skodek and his wife. But the wife hakuwa na jina. We need to know the name because she must have also played part. I imagine, for example, recently, of what we can see is Raila Odinga and Mama Aida. Mama Aida has been not on the limelight, but we can't say she hasn't played a role. She has really played a big role in terms of Raila's career, and Raila himself said that. So when you're telling these stories, we need to also share about these women. And and share how they empowered our nation and all that. Like recently I was researching on a lady called Wangu wa Makeri, who was a headman, a local chief in the colonial period, at a time when women were not allowed to rule. Women were not allowed to leave the kitchen, let alone ruling. But she ruled for like 7 good years. So how about telling that story? So I think that's more that we should tell. And the other part that I think we should tell more is how our forefathers fucked us up. How I think it's more of telling the real story and not just celebrating people. Like, Tom Mboya was a good dude, but he wasn't all roses. Kuna vitu zenye pia alifanya zenye they are not really good things. Jomo Kenyatta, yes, first founding president and all that, good. But pia, there's a side of him zenye we need to tell, which wasn't good. Same to, like, almost everyone. So I think having that balance, and it sort of also comes back to even our current world and our current leaders, and realizing that there's no saint. I want to vote in, let's say Oyamo. Oyamo akoje. To expect Oyamo ni a saint. So how do we deal with that moving forward?
Raja, I was to ask the same question that you have just answered about why we don't see women in the limelight. We don't hear more about them, because even when these people are fighting, I'm very sure, because those people believe that women were to remain in the kitchen. So when these people were fighting for our independence, the women were to cook for them. So these women should now be. Still be.
We should talk about them.
We should talk about them, because they were heroes, pia.
For example, in the Mau Mau organization, yes, the men were the one who were in the field and fighting and all that. But women played a very big role. Women were sent to. They would seduce the white people and the local police. What were they called? The Africans that were taken into the police. So they'll seduce them and steal weapons from them and then take them to the Mau Mau men who are in the war, who are in the forest. And that's a big role, because without these, the Mau Mau wouldn't have staged such a long fight as they did. So we need to take up this role. The women will go into camps and lure the men to sleeping with them. And this enabled now the Mau Mau to raid the camp and steal weapons. And we need to tell these stories. Another good story that I found out is about a lady called Muthoni Wanyanjiru. Muthoni stormed Upper Central Police Station. At that time it was called Kingsway Police Station. Muthoni stormed there and with other people, of course, but she led the uprising of people to call for the release of Harithuku, when alikuwa amekuwa arrested and detained in the Kingsway Police Station. So how about we tell stories of such women, so that it's known, it's not like they were just sitting and men were going there and doing everything and women were not doing anything. So for me, I think at this moment, that's where I am centered on. And I have a good friend, he's called Ngatia. Ngatia is, you guys think I love history. Ngatia is something else when you come to history. And Ngatia keeps challenging me. He's like, do more women's stories. I need to see more women's stories. And the challenge is on the researching part, because there's very little literature material on these women. So,
because actually
finding out those stories, it's a hurdle.
Actually, we only... A lot of people, if you ask them, they will just tell you about Wangari Maathai only.
So like Wangari Maathai, and then and then
you will be like, I know. You just be thinking, but there's no answer about it.
But they're there. We have like Phoebe Mugasio, the one who passed recently. We have a number. So I've been trying to center on that, researching more on that.
What do you find so interesting in now coming with this history of people?
For me, the interesting part usually is whenever I meet something that's mind-blowing, like for example, I'm like, wait, so you mean in 1940s, 1950s, Agwin Scott, they had the guards za kusomea law, despite ye kupewa sponsorship with the colonialist, and they sent him to study, social sciences, And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing law.
Yeah.
And they decided, okay, if you're doing law, we are terminating our scholarship.
Yeah.
And Agwing Skodek was like, yeah, cool. Let me talk to my people. So the people had to sell their cows and their assets, and they paid school fees. And that Agwing Skodek was the first lawyer, African lawyer, not only in Kenya, but East Africa.
Yeah.
Here. And he came and set up a law firm, the first person to set up a law firm. And he even advocated for in fact, the whites called him the Mau Mau lawyer.
Yeah.
Because he was advocating for the lawyers.
Yeah.
So for me, usually what I found more interesting is finding out things that people don't know. And I'm like, this is mind-blowing. What do you mean? Yeah, like, what do you mean Achieng Aneko is the one who introduced Jomo Kenyatta to Oginga Odinga.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, apparently it's like Achieng Oneko was telling Oginga Odinga about this guy, about how he talks and all that. And Oginga Odinga was like, I need to meet that person.
Yeah.
And now Oginga Odinga ends up being the vice president. In fact, almost being the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's a rich history. And knowing that Oginga Odinga was probably the first, he was the first politician to resign from office, from being a vice president. And I'm like, at this time, msee anaweza resign kweli. I imagine someone who is like a CS, leave alone a vice president, resigning. And only that the president is not involved in decision making.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm taking salary for nothing. I'm not working, so I'm resigning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how about we keep that kind of integrity to now? So yeah, for me, usually kitu ni fascinate ni just finding out things that I'm like, whoa. Like, Jana, I shared another video of something I found out recently, that apparently in the Kikuyu traditional society, but I've been learning apparently it also happened in Kalenjin and Kamba, is that women were allowed to marry women. Yeah. And they would live in the society, like, peacefully.
Women were allowed to marry women.
Yeah.
The thing that nowadays Gen Z are experiencing.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so good thing. So this was the context.
Yeah.
It was to happen in a very special circumstances.
Yeah.
This is how it could happen. If a woman is barren, or if the woman has hit menopause, and their husband dies,
okay,
the next step is the brother to the husband should inherit the woman, or a very close relative should inherit the woman.
Yeah.
But if in a case where there is no brother or a very close relative, this woman who has hit menopause or is barren and is older was allowed to marry a younger woman. And then they will identify a man within the community who would sleep with this younger woman. And then the younger woman will give birth to kids. And they'll live with the older woman and the kids together. And the man who was identified was only known to these two women and very few elderly relatives of the family. And the man also was never at any point to claim fatherhood roles or rights to these kids. Oh. So nyi mnaishi tu, you don't know where your father is, and you'll never know. Oh. So yeah, that's what the case.
I think there's somebody who is, there's a mzee from Siaya who was telling me that thing that during their time, they saw their fathers doing the same thing. Like if you realize maybe you can't impregnate your wife, then you and your wife, you will have a conversation about it. And maybe your father or your mother, and then you will get somebody outside or your brother outside, and then do something to your wife. But it remained between you guys.
Within the family.
I was like, what? That thing, do you imagine that thing to be allowed right now?
Can. Even the women, if you know you're barren and your husband is still there, you could get, in fact, it was the role of the first wife to look for the second and the third and more wives for the husband. So she was the one to go out there and like, my husband needs a second wife. I need you to be my co-wife. So if she was barren, she'll do that so that the wife raises kids, or if it happens that the husband has a large tract of land and maybe more cattle, so there's need for manpower. So she'll go get another wife to help take care of the home and even raise more kids to help take care of the home. But that was slightly different to the one I'm telling you, where these are two women living together as a couple.
Living together as a couple.
Yeah.
There's no husband involved
There's no husband. Like I told you, the husband died. There's no brother to inherit the woman. So they identify a man who only comes and sleeps with the woman and goes, and no one knows about the man. So the man is never seen.
Okay.
So it's only two women living together and taking care of the kids and the land.
So this same man sleep with all of them?
No, only this younger wife.
Oh, the younger wife.
Because the older wife is like, the reason why she's finding another wife is because she can't give birth. So she doesn't need you to sleep with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why she's marrying another woman is because she wants kids, but she's barren or she has hit menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she wants kids. So she'll find another younger woman and they'll live together.
So my worry is this.
Yeah.
After doing all this, because there's no husband involved here in this situation, what about the villagers? Will they question?
No, the villagers, you'll just know there's a man who did something here, but you'll never know who the man is. Yeah. But it was okay. The villagers knew, the reason why there are two women here is because this woman, the older one, is barren or she hit menopause without giving birth. Yeah. That's known. It's not like a secret. Yeah. So that's why she found a younger woman to give birth to kids so that they have kids. That's known. The only thing that is not known is who is the man. When did the pregnancy or the sex happen? That's not known. Yeah. Yeah, but the two women will live together and have kids, and even the kids will grow up knowing this is my mother, my first mother, this is my second mother. Yeah.
What about a kid becoming successful and maybe the other side, the man who did this, he has the wife there, the other side, and those are not successful. In that situation, how do they deal with that?
Now, that's our thing in our current world. But around that time, it was a taboo for you even as a man to come out and share. So, and because of that, because I know a number of rituals would be done. Yeah. So probably if you came out, probably you'll even go mad or something. Because you
did some rituals there.
Yeah. And you vow never to come out. Yeah. So you'll just be roaming around. You know that's my kid, but you can't do anything. In fact, when I shared this story, a friend reached out and she told me that that her mother comes from such a home.
Oh my God.
Where it's only two women. Yeah. So she knows she has two grandmothers, but they don't know their grandfather. Yeah. Yeah. And they are told probably he's just here roaming around, or probably he died, but you'll never know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I shared that, and someone said also in their Kalenjin, they also had such a practice. Also, someone said in Kamba, they also had such a practice.
Do such practice exist right now?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah, because right now, Pia, we have a lot of infection, gonjo, a lot of diseases. Yeah. So
also, it is said that the two women were not engaging in any sexual activity. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not lesbianism. Yeah. Yeah. The two women were only together because this older woman needs kids, and she can't give birth to kids. So she finds a younger woman. Yeah. Yeah. Although there are people who now say, behind the closed door, of course, they did things.
Yeah. People will see that they started lesbianism long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, people will. But as it's put in the book or when I was researching, that wasn't the case. Yeah. The only reason, it wasn't even that the woman is attracted to this woman sexually. Yeah. No, it was that she feels we can raise a home with this woman. Yeah. And that she can give birth. She's fertile, so she can give birth. And she's willing to be in such an engagement. So, yeah.
Making such a decision, you need still to be an honest person. Their level of honesty was very, very, very high.
And of course elders were involved and a lot of consultations. It wasn't a one person, decision, because you'll find a woman is, let's say, barren, and the husband dies, and they have a huge tract of land and cattle and livestock. She wouldn't take care of that alone, so she needs help. And a woman doesn't marry a man, even if she wanted to. So the only way is to be inherited. And if there's no one to inherit you, Something else I found out, this was interesting, that apparently, I think that's what we call now kugongewa, that apparently kugongewa in the Kikuyu African Traditional Society, it was allowed. In fact, it was sort of institutionalized or systemized. And this is how it happened, that apparently if men traveled from one village to another village, and they decided to sleep over in that village, and they were hosted by a man who they are of the same age set. The accommodation for these men who are visiting will be arranged, and they will sleep in the different huts of the wives of this man. And then the wives will decide among the visitors the men they are going to sleep with on that night. And the sex or the sexual intercourse will only be considered as sexual intercourse. And the man or the wife or the husband were not to feel any kind of envy or jealousy towards that. And that was like totally okay. In fact, it was even motivated among the unmarried folks. When now you are already circumcised and you're of the same age set, you're motivated to share girlfriends so that it builds bondship and comradeship within the age set.
Oh my God.
I found that and I was like, no way. But
like you sleep somewhere, very well that there's a visitor who visited here, and he has my wife right now.
Your wife is sleeping with so and so tonight.
Oh my God, those people had a weird culture.
and because someone would be like having 10 or 7 wives. And on that night, you're only sleeping with one. So you give me this for the night. And it's only social intercourse.
Okay, some of them were so wide because but I think with them they didn't have a lot of diseases. But right now, I don't think if you can even trust somebody because you don't know the next thing atapea mtu wako ugonjwa.
Sure. Also because at that time, when she's sleeping with someone else, it's only this time, and ni so and so. And yamelala na bibi yako. Me, imagine if that happens, me next week me nakuja kwako.
And those people, I think pia they I don't know venye walikuwa cause imagine mtu amelala na bibi yako, unajua tu vizuri unakutana na yeye. Unakutana naye ati ni huyu ndiye lala bibi yangu
aje. Me, I wouldn't get. I don't get.
I think for us we can't entertain that. I don't think we can do that. So
I also don't think.
So recently we have another girl, or I think maybe a lady, or maybe in future she will be in our history book. And there was a lot of controversial things, a lot of conversation around it. Some praised her, some were saying that she was doing nonsense thing. And maybe, let's say, in 10 years to come or 20 years to come, our kids will be maybe going through her story like she hugged a tree. I'm talking about Rufana Muthoni. So can you tell us more about the impact she did? Because maybe for us, maybe we saw it like just hugging a tree. And that's why a lot of people were saying that, so why should you praise somebody because of just hugging a tree? So a lot of people didn't know the impact of hugging a tree.
I'm not really an environmentalist. But of course, she reminds people of Wangari Maathai. And Wangari Maathai, we know it's known her love for environment and nature. And it reminds me at some point, Moi called Wangari Maathai a mad woman. And he called her out and even asked other women to discipline discipline this fellow woman.
Yeah.
Mwambie ache. And it's because of the act she was doing. But me, when I was seeing Trufena, when you look at it as the act of hugging the tree, yeah, you might think it's nonsense.
Yeah.
But what if you think of the overall effect that has? What's the message she's trying to pass across?
Yeah.
And for me, that's what matters.
Yeah.
The message she's trying to pass across.
Yeah.
That we need to actually take care of this environment.
Yeah.
In this way. We need to fall in love with the environment.
Yeah.
Usually when I hear people say, leo nilikuwa visit nature, I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
We are nature. Sisi, we are part of nature.
Yeah.
It's not like nature is somewhere, so we are going there.
Yeah.
So we are part of nature. And someone also said that human beings, we are just, as I say, we are part of nature, and we are just as living beings, as other living beings, as animals, as plants, and probably we human beings are the people who are destroying the earth.
Yeah.
And probably without human beings, hata earth kungekuwa na global warming sahi.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't see it as nonsense. Really, it's far from that.
Yeah.
To me, I see it as, you're advocating for let's take care of our environment.
Yeah.
Let's love our environment.
Yeah.
Let's actually think of our environment as actual living beings.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the message that goes out.
Yeah. Because a lot of guys didn't understand it, like just hugging a tree.
Mm.
Why praise somebody for hugging a tree?
It reminds me, there's a book I read. It's a long novel. It's written by Shubhangi Shwarap, an Indian lady.
Yeah.
And the book it's a fiction novel, but it's rooted on scientific research.
Yeah.
She wrote the book in 7 good years.
Yeah.
Just writing and researching. And the book is centered on environment, physical features, non-living beings.
Yeah.
I put in quotes because they're actually living beings.
Yeah.
And one of them, it was very mind-blowing, the book itself. Because I remember reading it, and one of the things that were mind-blowing is, imagine this. Imagine if there used to be a mountain at some place, and then because of tectonic plates movements and natural happenings, the mountain ikapotea.
Yeah.
But now, around this place, there's a ghost
of
the mountain hovering around.
Yeah.
And to me, that ilinifanya nifikirie now of these things as living beings. Imagine having a ghost of a tree.
Yeah.
Or imagine sitting down with a tree and the tree narrating to you, because the tree has been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
The tree is narrating to you the number of people who have passed by this route in 20 years.
Yeah.
It will tell you in 2010, there's a woman who gave birth chini yangu hapa.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1994, there's someone who killed someone down here.
Yeah.
And it might look crazy, but think of a tree as that living being and now narrating to you. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. So far, you are into the history. So far, how does knowing the history behind these places changes your how you see Kenyans in independence?
I would say I'm a Gen Z.
Yeah.
I was very active in the recent Gen Z protest.
Yeah.
And I think for me and for most of us, that was the period in which we were most active politically.
Yeah.
I even did a book, by the way. It's a documentation of the Gen Z protest.
Yeah.
So around that time, and for most people around that time is... And it's because of the number of things that are happening. But it comes... You might lose and begin to lose looking at politicians and all those bad people objectively and just hating them outrightly.
Yeah.
But now going back to history, it at least gave me a hindsight. A hindsight of knowing how these people were and how people this
Inaitwa
lived,
Jazi, yeah.
how people these
Jazi.
people stayed. Yeah. So it gave me an insight of at least knowing,
Yeah.
oh, so these people went through this. For example, Mimi, around that time of like, hey, Raila, you're a traitor, man.
Yeah.
You threw us under the bus.
Yeah.
But now going down history and researching and,
Yeah.
and learning what Raila has done for this country,
Just continue.
it makes me view Raila in a different light.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was viewing him before.
Yeah.
So going down the history to me it gives me that different view as opposed to the view that I had as a young man and judging things or everything by what I have seen with my eyes. Yeah, and knowing that, oh yeah, Jomo Kenyatta did ABCD, but he also did XYZ.
Yeah.
Yes, Raila, threw us under the bus with Ruto, but have you seen what Raila has done? Yeah, before. I'm like, okay, Ruto has killed people, has killed Gen Zs.
Yeah.
But Ruto was in ODM 2007.
Yeah.
And people celebrated him. Even though after that now he, of course, we know about the ICC inductees.
Yeah.
But just going through history and learning where these people come from, and also sort of disturbs me in a way, ilinishtua in a way, just looking behind and seeing that why is in the later years Raila becoming what he has been fighting all these years. Yeah, I'm like, why is, for example, this person turning against, like, okay, Orengo was fighting this thing all along.
Yeah.
So why is he quiet when we have the handshake thing?
Yeah.
Even though now he's outspoken and criticizing it. Yeah. The other thing, like the other day, I was learning, because I remember when Wajakoya came to vie for the presidency.
Yeah.
Most of us, that's the first time you're meeting Wajakoya.
Yeah.
And you're like, who is this guy? Some guy ati ametolewa wapi, ati amekuja ni a scientist with a head wrap and he's here talking about bank. And this is the first time you're meeting Wajakoya.
Yeah.
Do you know how shocked I was? Juzi when I was researching about Dr. Robert Ouko.
Yeah.
And I found out that Wajakoya, apparently, he was a police inspector here in Kenya. Yeah, and when Robert Ouko was killed, Wajakoya was also in the mix as, I think, a witness. And witness wakaanza could disappear and being killed.
Yeah.
And that's how Wajakoya fled the country for the fear of his life.
Yeah.
And so Wajakoya is not like some new guy. And just that, it blew my mind. And even now I started viewing Wajakoya in a different light. And not just as ule mse alikuja and akaanza kuimba reggae and advocating for bang and vying for the... I'm like, there's a proper history behind this guy.
Yeah.
And because now I'm like, oh, okay. Because I wouldn't think in any way that Wajakoya alikuwa polisi.
Yeah.
No way I would think of that. I'm like, okay, interesting. So now I'm interested to know vile alienda kulikuwaje, because at least I know he went and he's now like a respected scientist out there. Yeah. So just seeing these people in a different light and even our history in a different light and how it has been shaped.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah.
That's so great. Even me, I didn't know that about Wajakoya.
I know. I know. I even met a footage of him actually sharing that's the reason why he had to flee the country. And he came back before this election. He came back, I think, around 2009, around there. Around 2003, 2004, when Kibaki came to power. And they opened the case of Robert Ouko. He came back again, and things were not also looking very well or good for him. So again, he flew the country and went back. That's it. Just realizing these things. And now I feel like I would want to sit down with these guys and just hear them. I'm not saying they're good guys. I'm
Yeah.
not saying whatever they're doing is good, but just hear them now from the horse's mouth and them sharing the stories. And, and learn. So
I'm really impressed. Even me now, I want to get to know more about our history,
yeah, we
our
really should.
heroes. Yeah. So there's a question I wrote here. Why do you think some heroes were remembered while others were forgotten?
Because a number of reasons. One, it could be, or the major reason is there were people, like individuals, who are writing history.
Yeah.
And they were biased in a way.
Yeah.
So if mimi uko unanibamba and I'm writing history, I may be biased towards you, especially if let's say, like right now we are almost in the same age group.
Yeah.
And let's say we are fighting for one thing. Let's say we are fighting for this microphone.
Yeah.
And it happens that I die, you know, and you sit down to write about the history of a microphone. Yeah. Of fighting for a microphone in this space. Yeah. You wouldn't write me in a good light. Yeah. Or you might even like not write about me in at all. Yeah. So I think, the people who are writing the history of our country deliberately left out some people. Yeah. So that's one. The other reason could be that that we mostly celebrated the people who were on the limelight. Yeah. And so we thought these are the people we want to share only about. Yeah. Which I think that shouldn't be the case. Yeah. That shouldn't be the case. Yeah. So I think that's it. That's why some people are known and why some are not known. And I really hope that our generation, we try to undo that. Yeah. And that's what I try to undo. And sharing with you guys about things that really are not known to the public. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you believe that Kenyans youth are losing in touch with their identity?
What's our identity?
About history of Kenya, identity and history.
Losing touch. Yeah, in some way, but I wouldn't blame them. Yeah. Yeah. I'll point my fingers to the generations before us. Yeah. Because I think the reason why my kids wouldn't know about, let's say, Boniface Mwangi, I should be blamed for that. Yeah. 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 So I would blame the previous generations on not putting up structures that will ensure that the incoming generations know our cultures, know our traditions, and they are rooted in it. Yeah. If you read more history, you learn that in our traditional African setups, we had that informal education. Yeah. And I think when we formalized education, it sort of did away with our informal education. Yeah. And that's how we ended up losing touch. Yeah. But in the olden traditional society, you'll sit down with an elder and they'll tell you, like how you're telling me the old man in Sierra was telling you. Yeah. That's what we should actually do. Yeah. So how about we have these barazas and just sit down with older people and them telling us, like, oh, you're not the first Gen Z to rise up and you're not the first to throw a shoe at a president. Yeah. This has happened before. Yeah. And actually in the same region it has happened before. Yeah. And this is how it turned out. This is how it went. Yeah. The other day I was learning about the Kisumu massacre. Yeah. And realizing that that's how it went. That someone threw a stone at the presidential dais. Yeah. And and that was the reaction. So I would say we are, but also not for the fact that I'm telling these stories, and there are more people like me. I'm not the only one. Yeah. There are more like us who are telling and who are willing to dig in and learn our histories and learn what we know. Yeah. So yes, we have lost, but we are going back to it, and I love that.
Yeah. Mm. So far, you in the journey of you going deep into the history of Kenya. Or what is the most painful part, the most painful history that you have gone through?
I wouldn't pick one.
Yeah.
There are many.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick. Every day, me, I'm vaccinated. I'm like, whoa, what's this?
Yeah.
Like every single day. I remember I was reading a book about Nabongo Mumia.
Yeah.
And me, whenever I've been hearing Nabongo Mumia, to me, I feel like Nabongo Mumia is like kitambo sana, I don't know. But realizing, no, it's like around 1850s, this guy was here. Like, I want to say recently, recently, but But like, it's an actual person who was here.
Yeah.
And also learning that Nabongo Mumia's empire, really, because his wasn't a kingdom. His was an empire because it was that vast.
Yeah.
Apparently, it wasn't only in Western.
Yeah.
It was Western and Nyanza and Kisii, all under Nabongo Mumia.
Yeah.
And that's why if you've heard, Raila said that he traces his route back to Nabongo.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
And Nabongo had wives even in Siaya.
Yeah.
And wives in Kisii.
Yeah.
And wives in Mumias. And Nabongo was like the first African or the first Kenyan to own and ride a bicycle. Just thinking of that, and now I'm thinking, is it probably why we even still have bicycles in Kakamega town and Kisumu town also? So, I'm like, okay, interesting. Because I don't think you'll get boda bikes in Kiambu. Yeah. So just such kind of things, I'm like, this is dope. This is interesting to learn.
And actually, there's a time I was in Kisumu and then I saw those boda bicycle and then I was like, wow, these things still exist.
Yeah. The other day I was in Kisumu and I saw them. And I even saw someone amebebwa kwa hiyo bike. I was like, no way. No way.
Na hii mulima sahi jamani. Yeah, so I think there is a history behind it, why they are still exist, and you find there's a specific people who bought them.
Yeah. And you realize it's just beyond, going from one point to another place. It's rooted in the culture. Yeah, and they might not know it, but Nabongo Mumia was the first Kenyan to ride a bike.
Yeah. And
people traveled from Nyanza, from coast, to just come and see. We have heard there's an emperor who's riding a bicycle. Ebu twende tuone ni nini hiyo. And people travel to come and witness Nabongo riding a bicycle. So when you see those bodas in Mumia,
so bicycle was something big.
Those
days.
He was gifted by the whites. You know him, he collaborated. So it was a gift from the whites.
So it's like having a car.
Yeah, it was like owning a car.
Yeah.
Imagine being the first person owning a car in Kenya. So such things, whenever I'm researching, I hit such things, I'm like, what are these? What's this I'm finding out? Just for example, the other thing, what is his name? James Gishuru.
Yeah.
James Gishuru was the first finance cabinet minister.
Yeah.
But the guy was a proper drunkard.
Yeah.
And finding out that he also wouldn't drink in high-end bars. Alikuwa anakunywa River Road.
Yeah.
And he would drink a number of times. He would leave like very high-end government papers hapo tu kwa bench. But these are all minister.
Yeah.
In fact, it is said when he was the one who put up or established the founding of the Central Bank of Kenya as the first CS of Finance or Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
And so on the launch, obviously, as the Minister of Finance, lazima upeane keynote speech.
Yeah.
The president is there, everyone is there, the session is going on. Imefika time ya mse kupeana speech haonekani. They try to simu, nothing.
Yeah.
Walipata mse alizima kitambo, alikunywa, amezima.
Yeah.
And still, the president wasn't firing him. He kept on in fact, Kenyatta alidedi akamwacha.
The burden did a kazi.
And you wonder, so I was like, why? Mbona hakuwa anamfire? And you know who was his assistant?
Yeah.
Michuki. Yeah. And Michuki kept on reporting him to the president, like, umse hapana. But president amfuti kazi. Like, why? And then you trace back and you realize, James Gishuru alifanyia Kenyatta favors before we even gained independence. So there's no way Kenyatta angemfuta job. In fact, probably if it were not for James Gishuru, Kenyatta angekuwa preso.
Okay.
Yeah, and James Gishuru, apparently it's only James Gishuru and Paul Ngei who could bully Kenyatta. Because walikuwa wamemfanyia favors kubwa sana huko nyuma.
Yeah.
So in a way Kenyatta angewaambia shit. Kenyatta angeza kuwagombanisha or kuwafuta job.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's why even despite ye kukuwa that alcoholic, the guy was still in office.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also to give it to him, he was also like doing very good work. It is said that around the first tenure ya Kenyatta,
Yeah.
with James Gishuru as the CS of Finance,
Yeah.
economy ya Kenya will grow with the 6% increment. So he was working properly.
Yeah.
Aka-establish hiyo Central Bank of
Yeah.
Kenya. So kazi nayo alikuwa anafanya. Shida tu ilikuwa ulevi. They said ilikuwa ukiingia ofisi na it's 10 James Gishuru haja report.
Yeah.
There's only one place kumpata. Karaiba, River Road.
Wenda ungalia base yake ya changa.
Huko ndo utampata. It's so interesting to learn such things.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I think we need a whole day.
One day I hosted two of my friends.
Yeah.
Pangu. Walikuwa tu wamekuja kunitembelea. And one asked a question, a history question. I started telling, and then he was like, but sasa hii ni 1963. 1944 kulikuwa aje? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, sawa, wacha tu tuanzie 1920s ama 1900s. It was
turudi.
around 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Do you know, by the time napumua hivi, I'm like, hey, imetosha. It's 10 ya usiku. Like straight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And if you find somebody who love history and have a knowledge of it, you can really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Among your stories, among the journey of you, what is that part of Kenya history that really inspired you personally?
I think for me is around the independence.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Yeah.
Just looking at how people organized themselves around that time.
Yeah.
And how people were really selfless around that time.
Yeah.
Everyone was for pro-African,
Yeah.
pro-Kenyans.
Yeah.
Like every single person
Yeah.
was, and that's why even Jaramogi was like, without Kenyatta, hatutaki independence.
Yeah.
Like everyone was for pro-people.
Yeah.
Thinking that Pioga Mapinto alikuwa a Portuguese.
Yeah.
Came to Kenya, kakakaa hivi akafika of age, his parent wakampeleka hadi India, amesoma. Yeah. He qualified in India.
Yeah.
His Indian government offered him a job in India. Akakataa. Akasema hapana, I want to go back to Kenya to help the Kenyans or my people who gain independence. And he comes back to Kenya. He starts rallying people and start rallying finances za kufinance the Mau Mau movement.
Yeah.
In fact, when the Kapenguria Six are arrested, Pioga Mapinto anasource funds from the Indian government.
Yeah.
Anafungua recruitment hapa Kamkunji.
Yeah.
Anaanza kurecruit youths. Unakuja, unapigwa oath, unapigwa vau yako, unapewa panga, unaingiwa kwa msitu na join Mau Mau. And it said he recruited almost 1,000 youths.
Yeah.
So just thinking how people are selfless. Agun Skodek ndo ya amerudi, akapewa kazi kwa ofisi ya Attorney General under the colonial government. Yeah. Akaangalia do yenye anapewa compared to his counterparts, the whites, it's peanuts. Akawambia, no, I'll rather earn zero.
Yeah.
So akaenda akaset up his place, start advocating for everyone, every African who is associated with fighting for independence. So for me, around that period, that's what touched me most. Just thinking, if we get to a point where we have leaders who are that selfless and everyone is advocating for the people, I think we'll get far. We'll do magic as a country.
Yeah. If every Kenya could be learning something from the past, what could that be and why?
That we are not the first.
Yeah.
There have been people before us.
Yeah.
We are not the first one to advocate for for good governance and against bad governance.
Yeah.
There have been people before us,
Yeah.
equally young people,
Yeah.
and they succeeded in some way and they didn't in some way.
Yeah.
And just knowing that, I think, is enough to motivate us to keep on fighting.
Yeah.
Knowing that, yes, we can win. We actually can win.
Yeah.
We actually can get someone out of the office if we don't want the person to be in the office.
Yeah.
So that's would be my thing.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate you being here.
You're welcome.
I think we have to now come next time, then have a specific person, that person that you really love listening to going through the history, and then we go through it. I think that would be good.
Sure.
I think if we welcome you next time, you won't decline.
I won't. Why should I?
Okay, thank you for coming. I think we have to wind it here because we have gone past 1 hour right now. We have to wind it here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of this family. You have enjoyed the show, yeah? The show is so amazing, and I encourage each and every one of you that get to learn our history, our past, yeah? It's so amazing, yeah? Because this platform, we are here to learn, relearn, and unlearn, yeah? So you can learn that thing that maybe you didn't like, something that is not taking you to the right direction. So we really appreciate you being here. We really say thank you. We really need your feedback. What do you think we should adjust on? So, but for now, we have to leave you there. Remember that the power of amazing conversation makes your tomorrow better. Let's reach 1,000 subscribers. Really, we appreciate you. Comment, like, share, and subscribe our episode. See you next episode. Bye for now.